Here you can see some of those remnants from yesterday's windstorm. Made it through intact. I still have to deal with that tree. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. Today, we're going to step inside the greenhouse and talk about lemongrass. So lemongrass is a fairly easy thing to sprout here. A lot of people are doing it, you know, it's got to be at least 100 videos on this. So I thought I would try a couple of different things for sprouting my lemongrass in and just see what kind of different results I get. Now, that being said, I've got a few more ideas of things that I want to try as well, so I think I'm going to be doing a part 2 follow-up video to this. But let's start with your basic water. Regular old jar. You can see in the bottom here, the lemongrass has started to put out some really nice, very strong, healthy looking roots from those 3 bases that are in there. Tried planting lemongrass hearts, you know, just the very center of the plant itself, and you know, planted this maybe 2 weeks ago into the water, and while that heart is still incredibly green and, you know, very fresh looking, would be fantastic in tea, I'm sure, they didn't sprout anything. So a great way to keep your lemongrass fresh, just keep the bottom of it in some nice cool water, but if you want it to root, you will need to start at the bottom of the plant. I can pull one of these guys out here. Pull out the hearts for now. Put them off to the side. Still haven't got all my peppers out, but I've got some. Now, the lemongrass bases are really very stuck in here. But in the water, look at the roots that's developed. 10 to 14 days, seriously. Couldn't be much longer than that. And we've already got a sprout off to the side. And from what I hear, lemongrass kind of, you plant it in the middle of whatever you're going to plant it in, and then it shoots up in like a circle all around it, and then those will create circles around it, and be quite interesting. This is the first time I've ever grown lemongrass, but Shocks uses it for teas, so seemed like a good idea to try. Now, we're going to put that into one of my 3-gallon buckets a little bit later on. But before we do that, I wanted to show you one of the other mediums I tried. Don't show up terribly well, but these are those little silicone beads that you can get at dollar stores and craft stores and stuff, and they swear you just put the water in there and they'll do a fantastic job, but look at that. There is no root start, there's no leaf start. You know, it just kind of looks like it did when we put it in. I'm very much not impressed by that. So I'm going to have to say, as far as starting things, these silicone beads, I'm not going to try it again. Seemed like a good idea because they hold the moisture and yada yada yada, but they hold it so well that your plant can't get it. I am going to put that back in there and just continue to let it sit for a good long time until it starts to rot, probably, in the hopes that maybe someday it'll produce roots, but I won't be trying that again. However, glass jar with water, some nice short bases, and look at that. That's 2 weeks growth. You can clearly see, you know, where I cut it at the top. And these started to shoot up within a day. You know, obviously all this growth didn't come from that first day, but it was pretty darn quick. So if you're interested in sprouting some lemongrass, give it a go. Just make sure you get that little bottom chunk there, because that is the only part that will root for you. Alright, let's plant these into a container and get them out into my main garden. As always, only the fanciest and finest will do for me, so I've got a garbage 3-gallon bucket here that I've drilled some holes in the bottom of for drainage. Good old Folgers scoop, and I'm just going to fill that up to about 1/2 or 3/4. Well, since I've got 3 lemongrass stalks to stuff in there, so kind of make something of a triangle out of it. Space them fairly well apart. Now, because I don't know a better way to do this, I'm just going to plunk it in there. Kind of hope for the best. So, as always, If I've done anything terribly wrong, please feel free to comment. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it like this and see how she grows. Just fill that in. And top that up, make it a little more solid. Maybe even put some mulch on there. We'll see. I'll be right back to you. Alright, well, I'm going to throw a label on that. Put it out front so it can get lots of sunshine. Give it a good watering, and we'll check back on that for the next part of the lemongrass adventure. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day.